coming. All right. And we are live.
All right. Welcome, everybody. And business at a time, but this is what collaboration looks like. So again, if I am new to you, you've never stumbled upon me, you've never met me at all, welcome. I'm Terri-Karelle Reid, Human Ethernet, sending you warm greetings from sweet Jamaica. It's such a pleasure to have you guys in the building. I'm a TV host, I am an event host, speaker, mom, and I'm a community builder. People like to use the term influencer with me. I'm not too sure about the whole influencer thing, but what I do like to do is big up my community large and strong. So everyone, some people are just coming in. So again, tell us where you're coming from. We know that we're definitely trying to build our community, our Caribbean community. So make sure that you drop your flags and you continue to let us know where you're coming in from. Absolutely. Territon Selector. I know, right? DJ is what I'm going to be adding to the list, but fantastic. Good to have you. So what we want to do today and what we want to do as community builders is to create enabling environments, right? We want to create environments where we can have live discussions, where we can get questions that you have, concerns that you have, that we can actually help to give you the answers. Trini in the building, Jamaica in the building. Oh, Jared, send me some doubles now. Send me some chow, man. So we want to be able to have this conversation. So you would have heard the news, right? Breaking news. Amazon added about 85 countries to its list of sellers, and that's a big deal. So we see Barbados, Bahamas, Guyana, Haiti, Trinidad and Tobago, St. Kitts and Nevis, SVG, Jamaica. That's a big deal, but you know how I stay. I like to ask my questions like, what does this mean? What are the pros? What are the cons? What are we not thinking about? What are the requirements? What are the criteria? Any hidden fees? If you know any solopreneurs, if you know any entrepreneurs, if you know anybody who want to launch a product or is launching a product and wants global reach, then guess what? This is the place to be. And so when I started having all of these questions, I could only think of one person to have this conversation with. Again, it tells you it pays to have friends in very high spaces, because I was just going to do this on Instagram. But because Keron Rose, aka Digiboss, aka Digipreneur, whoa, have software where I can broadcast. We now have persons from Facebook, IG, LinkedIn, YouTube. And again, for those of you on IG, if you want the full experience, go across to YouTube. So as I was saying, I had the questions about Amazon. I want to know how it affects us as Caribbean people. How can we level the playing field? And there's only one person I could think to call. So when you think about the online business coach, the e-commerce boss, the host of the digital age, the colossal content creator, whoa, recently added podcast of the Digipreneur. And as I said, saving one online business at a time. I had to go across to Trinidad and I had to call the Digiboss. Keron Rose, drop some fire, drop some lighter, drop some flags. We're about to have a good time.
Check. You know, when we link up, it's nothing but vibes that we come true. Terry, how are you doing?
I am good, and I'm just making sure. Stacey and Virtue, just head straight to YouTube, Terri-Karelle. You'll see my channel there. You will get the full-on view.
Right.
All
so
right.
we just
Everybody drop in the fire. I accepted your live.
Listen.
I accepted your request. All right.
We're in a gear. Terry, what we doing, Terry?
Tell me now. So good to see you. Don't see the lighters.
Listen, yeah, hold on. Let me just make sure that, yeah.
The feedback. Look at the fire. Look at the lighters. Look at the flags. I see Trini flag. I see Jamaican flag.
We have a lot of people in the building. Let me know if you're getting a feedback, though. Nah, I think it's gone.
Feedback? Big up to Alicia, Sagicor, Jamaica in the house. We just love bright people. We love you too. So, Keron.
Yeah, talk to me.
What's up?
Listen, I'm very good. You see, the fact that we're able to do all of this, right? Where we have the entire Caribbean community, because I seen flags I seen Antigua, I seen Barbados, I seen Montserrat, I seen Trini, I seen Yard, I seen everybody. I seen everybody came up for this. And this is big news. But not just that. I love the fact that we get to connect at this kind of level where we can bring everybody together, where we can stream across multiple platforms and bring everybody together to get this type of news. This is something that we got to do more often.
No, absolutely. But you brought up a very good point. And the point is that, we're very small topographically and we're very small geographically. But when you look at what our reach can be if we collaborate more, we do a lot better. You understand? So absolutely, I look forward to it. And of course, anybody who's in the chat, drop and let us know, not just where you're from, but what do you do so that we can absolutely network and link up and support each other's businesses across the Caribbean. So Keron, you ready to get into the conversation, Mr. Digiboss?
Let's do it. I'm ready. Me ready long time.
I don't know if you guys on IG can hear the sound effects. And if you want to hear the sound effects, you need to go across to my YouTube channel. So, Keron, before we get into the nitty-gritty, let us talk about Amazon, okay?
Yeah.
Jamaica, Trinidad, Haiti, and all of these other Caribbean countries were never on that list. Right. What did that mean for a lot of us who were solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, who had products, had business, but did not have the global reach? What were a lot of persons doing in lieu of not having access to the global reach that Amazon has?
Well, everybody kind of had to figure out their own way to get their products to and fro. And the entire ecosystem across the Caribbean has been it's been scattered. It's been all over the place because the things that work in Jamaica don't work in Barbados. What works in Barbados doesn't work in Trinidad. So it's really been all over the place. And this is why, the work of WePay trying to unite the entire Caribbean and get connect all of these central banks to bring a Caribbean-wide payment gateway that is easy to access, because we've had payment processors, like the biggest one is First Atlantic Commerce, sorry. But the process to getting onboarded, you have to go to the banks. And you already know anytime people have to go to the banks, it can be a little
convoluting.
Right. It can be a little convoluted, right? So WePay has been trying to simplify the process to get a payment processor into as many Caribbean countries as possible and allow people to build a website, integrate the payment processor. So now you can get paid online, but then you had to figure out the logistics. So you've had to piece together everything, right?
But that sounds like a headache. That sounds, it sounds inconveniencing. It sounds tedious. It sounds like the type of thing that would have a lot of solopreneurs deciding not to bother.
Well, here's the biggest problem. The biggest problem, and this is something that I found out the hard way when I moved here, is that when you want information, Terry, where can you go to get information on the process? Where do you go? There's almost, crickets. There's almost nowhere to go to get information to piece together everything, right? And you go to one institution, they tell you one thing, you speak to another rep, they tell you something completely different. So there's never been a place to really get all the information. That has made it 10,000 times harder. So when I moved to Trinidad, I started to network on LinkedIn, and I got to meet different people from different payment companies, and I got to understand the platforms that worked in the Caribbean.
And what didn't.
And what didn't, and what payment processors worked on which platforms, because WePay doesn't work on all the platforms. First Atlantic Commerce doesn't work on all the platforms. We just did the Emerge workshop with Sagicor. Sagicor works on a good bit of platforms, but it doesn't work on every single platform, right? So what happens now is Caribbean people, they jump on Google, and when they type in things like, what is the easiest platform to list the products, they get things like Shopify. When they Google what's the easiest web building platform, they get things like Wix. But then when they start to build on those platforms, then they realize, wait a minute, this now work. I can't get paid. So you now spend months building on a platform, and you're spending money. You're spending money on it, and now you can't get paid. And it's all because you were following information from other markets like the US. People don't put into context that the US content creators are not making content for Caribbean people. They're making it for their market, right? They're making it for their market. So I started to document my process because I realized there's nowhere for you to get the information. Started to document, and I just started to put the information out, and then it just catch fire one time because people started to realize, yo, this is the one place I can go for information about PayPal, why PayPal works, why PayPal doesn't work, and which countries it works, which website platforms to use, and which payment gateways to use. So now that we're having the conversation about Amazon, you know, some of the issues that people were having with respects to building an e-commerce platform, Amazon's going to come in and fix some of those issues, but that's what we're here to kind of dissect.
Now, listen, what you just spoke about was a real issue that a lot of us have. People have great products, especially in the Caribbean. We have talented people who have great products. They just need to get the reach. I know that we're having a feedback.
You know what? Everybody on Instagram, go to Terry's YouTube channel and watch it from there, because the feedback is coming from the Instagram. So Instagram folks, to check, listen, come over on YouTube, go to Terry's YouTube right now. She has it at her link in bio. If you're following me, go to my link in bio and click on Terry's YouTube channel. Watch the live from there. You get the full experience, all right? So
All
Terry,
right.
let's sign off for us. Yeah, perfect. All right,
Yeah,
nice,
did that. Okay, right.
good.
So what we were discussing, right? Because the feedback, I know it will also affect other persons. So what you were basically saying, I mean, we were saying that in the Caribbean we have a lot of talented people with great products, but it's just confusing. Either you don't have the capital or you don't have all of the elements that you need. Going back to Amazon, what we realized is that a lot of persons who could not register on Amazon as registered sellers because maybe they didn't, they weren't residents of the particular country, what they'd have to do is use a middleman.
Correct.
Walk us through that, because some persons may not even know that that is how some people were able to get around the system.
So there were companies that were offering their services where you could essentially go through them and they would kind of list the products for you, and they would take the percentages that they would take. There is a guy by the name of oh my goodness, my man slipped my mind all of a sudden quickly.
Barry?
Yes,
Yes.
Mr. McIntosh, right? So he's a consultant in Jamaica that has been helping people, guide them through the process, working with the middleman in order to list their products on Amazon. Otherwise, there were people that were registering their businesses in the US and then able to register on Amazon, right? But the minute you register your business in the US, now you got to start worrying about Uncle Sam, and you got to start to pay Uncle Sam his money, right? So that's not always an option for everybody, right? So with the announcement of the new 85 countries that have been listed where where you can now register an account from these new countries, the Caribbean, being a part of that, now you don't have to go to the middleman. You can now create your own account on Amazon sellers, and you could start to sell on the Amazon platform. And there's
Keron,
pros and cons. Go ahead.
Because something tells me it's not that easy. So when I got the news and I heard, wow, Caribbean, our people are now going to have access, I'm thinking about all the castor oil and the coconut oil and all the bonnets and everything that we create now getting global access. I'm going, but there has to be something that we're not thinking about. There has to be cons, even though we're very grateful for the fact that we have this global reach. Like, what does this mean? What are the things that are prohibitive? So let us talk about the requirements. Since we have persons who are they're locked in, what do they need to have in order to be eligible to register before we go anywhere else?
Well, the big thing with Amazon is, can you afford to list on Amazon? Because Amazon is pricey. So Amazon typically has two subscription methods that you can subscribe to list on Amazon. They have a package where it's called a personal package, and you can kind of pay per product. So anytime you sell, Amazon has their fees that they take, and it's a bit of a higher rate that they take on those items, which are only good. It's only really good like when you're not selling, when you just get started and you're now setting up the store and you have less than 40 products and you're selling less than 12 to 20 products a month. You can kind of go that route, that personal package route. But then they have the professional route, and the professional subscription starts at 40 US a month. All right. So you have some people that when they have to take subscriptions, and them subscriptions are $10 US a month, they want to ball for that. So with Amazon, you're starting at the 40 US, but then there's a laundry list of fees that go along with selling on Amazon. On top of that, you have to consider now, if I have a set of fees on Amazon, so I have my subscription fee, I have my referral fee, there's the taxes that they deduct. If I have all these fees, I also have to worry about shipping to Amazon's warehouse.
Hold on. Breeze on. Hold on. Because I don't know if I was the only one. If you guys who are viewing this, if you are of the same opinion, I just thought you register, you create your account, you create a liquor store, you juke in your products, and you say, see me here, come here, see the price here, and you just collect your money. I didn't know that you'd have to subscribe. I guess that's the price of entry, right? That's a subscription for you to be a part of this club. You're basically paying for that.
Correct. So
Now
you're
I have to worry about the inventory of getting my products to Amazon's warehouse.
correct. So even though you're creating your own products locally, right? If anybody had to ship products to family, friends, wherever in the US, they already know how expensive it can get, right? So not only are you worried about the fees that are associated with selling on Amazon, but now you have to worry about shipping your product to Amazon warehouses so that you can get involved in Amazon's program called Amazon FBA, which is Amazon fulfilled, or FBA fulfilled by Amazon. And that allows you to be on the Prime list. So once your products reach into the Amazon's warehouse, that is how products are able to become on the Prime. So people can add, they get the 2-day shipping and whatnot, right?
But let me ask you a question, Keron, and I'm just going to cut you just for a second because I
No
have
problem.
a question here, Never Given, who says, well, how would we arrange international shipping with all the restrictions here? So great, we're from the Caribbean, but we do have different restrictions. How does that tie into Amazon and getting our products across there?
So as I said before, we had to kind of we right now have to piece together everything, right? So DHL is pretty much the second largest logistics partner because Amazon is pretty much the biggest one. But you could ship your products anywhere in the world with DHL. However, if you're using DHL, you would have to, build on a platform that would allow you to integrate into Amazon. If you wanted people to pay, like as you're checking out and they put the country in, you can connect if you're using something like a WordPress or Shopify or Squarespace, pretty much any of the big platforms. DHL can integrate into the website, and upon checkout, when people are putting in their address, it would calculate the shipping fees, and then the shipping fees would be passed off to them. But you have to be the one to go and create the DHL account, and DHL wants quite a bit of information in order for you to get a corporate account with them, right? So you could use FedEx, you could use any one of the major shipping brands that's
and
available in your country.
Decide to ship on my own. I can still decide to ship on my own and not
Correct.
necessarily through Amazon, although I sell on the Amazon platform.
So if you do decide that you want to be on Amazon, you do have the option to ship on your own, right? So you can ship, but now you have to think about the time, because as an order comes in on Amazon, right? And Amazon deposits the money. Amazon's depositing the money into our bank accounts now that they are eligible in our countries. So if we decide, in real time?
Asking for the guy in the back, I see a hand in the back. Asking for the guy in the back. Depositing. Is it real time?
We won't know if it's real time, and I think this is something that I would ask Barry on, because Barry will have somebody that he's dealing with right now. And he could tell us whether or not. So if we have to organize another conversation and speak to him, right? But no worries. If we decide to sell on the Amazon platform and we decide, we don't want to ship it to Amazon fulfillment centers so that they can ship out all of the products, we can do it ourselves. But then we have to account now for the time it's going to take for us to do all the picking and packing. So an order comes in, you have to now go and get the box. You have to now go and package it. You have to go and arrange the pickup and arrange for the shipping out to another country. These are things that Amazon would typically deal with on your behalf. You just need to worry about getting your products to them. So that's something that you kind of have to weigh in if you decide, do I suck it up and pay the whole heap of money to go and ship it to Amazon, or am I going to take on that burden of doing everything else on my own and then having it shipped off for me?
I saw someone in the comment, because the comments were coming up so fast. Someone in the comment said, and I do agree that when you look at a subscription fee of $40 per month, really, it works out to $10 a week for the visibility that you could potentially get on Amazon to the global reach. It kind of makes a lot of sense, but we didn't want it to be something that a lot of us just went in completely blinded and not understanding that there are certain fees and certain commitments that you have to honor. What were you going to say?
Let's talk about that. So people talk about the reach of Amazon, right? And what people do not know is that Amazon is the #1 product search engine. So Amazon is like Google. Google is a search engine for information. Amazon is the #1 product search engine. What that means is that you need to understand search engine optimization for the Amazon search engine. That means you have to do product research. So you need to understand what keywords, what are the trends working on Amazon. You need to go and take a whole course on learning how to use it expertly well. There's a course on Jungle Scout, and Jungle Scout is a software that allows you to understand all of the trends that are happening on the Amazon platform. You can find out what products are hot sellers. You could see what products are selling X amount of times per month. What are the averages for the markups? There's a lot of information that you're going to get from Jungle Scout, but guess what? Jungle Scout is also a paid program.
Woo! I see Tyrone Wilson saying, I create. You can go to iCreate and learn about keywords. Yeah, I see you, Tyrone. I see you. I see you.
Big up to Tyrone.
I see Tyrone talking about iCreate, but I saw where somebody in the comments said, what if someone wants to return? So I guess everyone is trying to think about the logistics.
Right.
I suppose you have customers now who may want to return something, or maybe they got the wrong size, or whatever the case is. We're accustomed to it. Is that handled as a part of my arrangement as Amazon, as a registered seller? Is that something that I have to deal with aside? What are our expectations? How can we manage everyone's expectations?
That's all a part of the Amazon experience, right? So Amazon is handling all of your returns. They're dealing with all of your customer service. The only thing you need to worry about is creating your product, getting it to Amazon. You are going to have to optimize all of your listings. So you're going to have to do your homework and learn the Amazon search engine. You're going to have to learn how to write your own product descriptions. You're going to have to do your own product photography, and Amazon has standards when it comes to their product photography. So these are all the things that you're going to have to do on your own. If you get buried, you could create a product, and if your product is not competitive on the search engine because you don't know Amazon SEO, and you get buried on page 2, 3, 4, 5, Terry, let me ask you a question. When you Google something, and it's not on the first page of Google, when last you ever seen page 2? That's it.
That's it. That's it. I am going to trust that I'm getting the best searches, the most credible searches, the most useful and beneficial products or services that I want on my first page. Anything after that is a waste, I'm sure, and I'm sure a lot of persons would agree. So then let me ask you a question. What somebody's asking, what kind of margins merchants get on Amazon? So what kind of margins are we looking at? And when we're setting the price, maybe that's the question I should ask. Considering I have all of these fees that I have to think about, these logistics, okay, my subscription, it's a cost, analysis. What is my price point going to be that still keeps me competitive, but that will give me enough that I can at least make a profit and still cover my expense? How do I come up with the price? Does Amazon recommend a price to me, or do I just go in and say, yo, $50?
So you set your own prices. You set your own prices. You need to know what the margins are, and you need to calculate all of the fees that Amazon is taking out for your particular product. So Amazon charges different percentages for different categories, right? And if you go on Amazon seller's website, they break down what are the fees for every single product category. You have to figure out how are you going to be profitable. So Amazon has to take their cut, right? Then there's a piece of money. So look at it like the rule of thirds. 1/3 of that money is gone to Amazon.
Right.
The next third is in your shipping fees. And that other third is your profit, hopefully your profit. Because now you have to price at a competitive rate, because if you overprice, then somebody else is going to eat your food on the platform. If you underprice and you're running at a loss, then it's a loss. At the end of the day, the fees are the fees, and Amazon is taking their cut as soon as someone gets paid, because Amazon's handling all of the payments. As soon as you get paid, Amazon done take their money. And you would have done spent your money on shipping because you would have sent it to Amazon regardless. Or if you're fulfilling it by yourself, you still had to keep money inside to go and now ship the product to somebody else.
Absolutely. So no. Finish your point.
You have to. So on average, Amazon sellers try to get between depending on the product range, they try to get between anywhere from a 15% markup to a 50% markup. But it all depends on the margins and your products. So when you are getting into things like private labeling, and we'll talk about that in a bit, but when you get into things like private labeling products, when you're getting those products, you're trying to get those products as cheap as possible so that your markup is healthy, your margins are healthy, right? But if you are getting some high, if you are getting products, or if you're creating the product, and you are getting the raw materials.
Cost is high.
Yes, and your cost is high, right? Your cost is high to get the materials to make the product. By the time you now ship to Amazon, Amazon puts their fees on it, you might not be selling, you might not be able to sell. You might be overpriced. So Amazon isn't straightforward. This is a big opportunity for the people who are creating products and understand business and are able to get their materials at a good cost, and they have the capital to ship out to Amazon. Then this is a great opportunity. But continue, because there's a couple of things that I know we're going to get into. But go ahead. Keep it moving.
Right.
Keep it moving.
And I actually want to get into the comments, because we do have a lot of value that's happening in the chat, and it's a part of building the community, right? I know Keron and I are here really as the facilitators of the conversation, but I can't help but notice, as you see me look in the chat, that there are persons who are familiar. You can see that some persons might be merchants, so they're trying to assist persons while they're in the chat to understand, where some difficulty or some things that you need to consider. I see Nikisha Francis says, selling on Amazon has a lot of moving parts. The most difficult part from the Caribbean is the cost of shipping to Amazon FBA warehouse. So again, this is not to discourage anyone. We're saying this is an opportunity. What we're saying is that you need to arm yourself with information so that you can manage your expectations and you don't get caught or that you're blindsided. Someone says SEO is very important, and for persons who might be new to this, SEO, search engine optimization. It's one thing to have your product, it's another thing to actually have the right words, the right description, that when Terri-Karelle comes searching for, Jamaican-made coconut oil hair product, you've put the right words there that will help you to come up in the search. Now, what you mentioned earlier, and keep the questions coming. I mean, they're coming in rapidly, so it's very hard to follow all of them. But you mentioned something, Keron, about white labeling, which is something that quite a lot of big industries do, where they have their products manufactured over in factories like China and the Philippines, and they're packaged. How does that help us? We're just talking about maybe raw materials, manufacturing costs.
Right.
You are saying that there's also opportunity of working with white labels and having your product shipped directly to Amazon to cut your costs. Explain to us what that is.
All right. So this is where, I think when it comes to Caribbean people making their own products, because we are usually buying at retail cost for a lot of our materials, making some of our products can get really high, right? We do have some people that are able to get wholesale prices for their raw materials, but a lot of us are buying at retail price to materials, so it's going to raise the costs of our products, right? Now, there's going to be a market that can create their products, sell with Amazon. When it comes to the private labeling, I think this is where the biggest opportunity gap is for Caribbean people being able to now sell on Amazon, because we now have access. If anybody has ever heard of AliExpress and Alibaba, So AliExpress is the platform where if you want to get into drop shipping, you can create a Shopify website. You can connect to the back end of AliExpress, and AliExpress is the #1 drop shipping partner. So when a sale is made on your website, AliExpress will get the order and they will deliver the product directly to the client, right? And those are retail prices we're dealing with when you kind of mark it up, right? Now with Alibaba, Alibaba is the platform for manufacturers and trading companies. So if there is a product that we want, so let's just say, for example, Terri-Karelle wants to get into, some activewear. You want to come up with your line of spandex. You want to come up with your nice look.
Of all the things. Everyone who is a part of my Insta family just went Terry activewear wrong industry. But go, Keron, we're listening. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Terry dropped some activewear, right? Terry come up with some activewear, right? All right, cool. So Terry could now jump on Alibaba and jump in the search and type in activewear. And then you are now going to be greeted with thousands of manufacturers in China that produce activewear, and they're going to be able to sell you different types, different materials, different colors, whatever. And you can now liaise with them. Nice,
great.
Right. You can liaise with them because they are the manufacturers. You can order a minimum amount of quantity, whatever their stipulation is. You can design it. You can get your logos and put it onto the products. And after you have worked out the creation of your product, right? Or even if you are buying teddy bears and you want to resell teddy bears, you go find a manufacturer who's making teddy bears on Alibaba, work out your logistics, work out your pricing. You're going to purchase some samples first because you're not going to do a big order on Alibaba without getting a sample. You're going to order a sample, make sure that everything is the way that you want it to be. Everything is quality. Once it's up to your standards, good. You can place the order for your shipment, but then you could have it shipped from China, from the manufacturer, directly to Amazon. All right? And you can do that via air if it's light products, or you could do it by sea if it's the heavier stuff. By air, it takes 3 to 5 business days typically. By ocean, it takes 2 weeks to a month. And you could get your products, but it makes sense if it's the heavier products that you're in the private labeling, right? And that would get shipped directly to Amazon. Now, keep in mind, if you decide to go that route, now you're gonna be looking at a month to 2 months because you got to do a lot of research. You got to jump on you got to jump on Jungle Scout. You got to do your homework to see, well, what is like the highest selling products that don't have the highest competition, that have good margins, right? That you can get into the private labeling and selling of these things, right? Once you do that homework, you go back and forth with the manufacturing or the trading companies on Alibaba. You get your samples, you check them out, you make your orders. By the time the shipping happens, that's a month and a half of back and forth and research already gone, right? And that's before. But you have to do it.
What is necessary?
You're spending your money. You have to do it. But you can private label and then have it shipped directly to Amazon. And then you as the store owner, the only thing you need to do is ensure your marketing is on point. So your SEO is on point so that your products can be found. You are also marketing your products via pay-per-click advertising, or you're taking out Facebook ads and you're driving traffic to your Amazon store. And
which is a good point. Which is a good point, because what you're trying to say is that although we know Amazon has millions of customers, we don't expect you to put your product or to register your business, put your product, and then just say, well, it's Amazon, so people will just buy. The people shall come. It also means that we have to actively advertise and market our products regardless of whether they're on Amazon or not.
Correct. Amazon is just the platform. They are the platform and the logistics partner. You have to do all of the work because you got to get the products. You got to optimize. You have to understand how to sell on the platform with their search engine. And then you still have to do advertising to market your products away from Amazon so you could drive the traffic to your store on Amazon. And then you are in charge of the inventory. So whenever you start to run low on product, you have to figure out now, okay, well, we're going to go re-up from our suppliers in China and fly back in more product over to the Amazon.
So we don't get that out of stock, because we know normally when you see out of stock, people do not go back. Hanging with Heather May says, you really don't have to create a product to sell on Amazon. You can sell discontinued products, beauty, houseware products as well. So that is for persons who may not necessarily have a product. But Heather also kind of sends us into another segue, and that is the other opportunities. So let's say Terri-Karelle doesn't have a product. I don't have anything to sell. I don't have anything to launch. But we know that there is something called Amazon affiliate marketing.
Right.
What will that be like in terms of an opportunity for persons who may have large communities, have great influence? What are the opportunities now for persons, knowing that we now have Caribbean persons, sellers on the platform?
So this, I think, is major, because we could have always signed up for Amazon Associates, right? That was always open for us here in the Caribbean. You could sign up for an Amazon Associates account, and Amazon pays you out via check. Once you hit the $100, 100 US threshold, and they're cutting checks, they're going to send you out that check in US dollars and mail it out to you, or you could have direct deposit into your bank account from the Amazon Associates.
Hold on 1 second. And by the way, for persons, we don't want to assume that everyone's on the same level. You might be going, Amazon affiliate associate, what? Have you ever watched any video? Maybe it's your favorite person on YouTube, and they say, hey, I use this, check down in my description box, all those items, click on the link. Each time you click on the link and you buy a product that is being referred to you by someone else, they get a cut. It's almost like a referral fee. So right now, any one of us could be Amazon affiliate. I read a book. People ask me, Terry, where you get that book? Oh, I got this book on Amazon. What's the link? I share a link. And if you buy the book, Amazon goes, okay, Terri-Karelle, you sent someone, they bought the book. Here's your cut. So that's just an idea of what Amazon affiliate or associates is. So now we're looking at the opportunities when our Caribbean nations are now in the selling position on Amazon. What is the opportunity? Continue, Keron.
So the opportunity now is when you sign up with Amazon Associates, right? And if you are creating content, not even if you're just creating content, but anytime somebody sees you and says, yo, Terry, I like your shoes, where you get them? We've been recommending products for free for as long as we can remember, right? Right. Forever. So if somebody if you are somebody where people are constantly asking you, hey, where did you get this? What book is that? How did you get this? You can now send them an affiliate link. So you would be able to go on Amazon Associates. And you know what, Terry? We could do something. Let me show people how Amazon Associates work. I'm going to share my screen, and we are going to take a look at how Amazon Associates works so people can get a live sense of what that looks like. If you guys want to see Amazon Associates, a live demonstration, I need to see some fire in the chat. Please drop some fire in the chat if you want to see a live demonstration of the Amazon Associates.
You guys want to see the live? I want to see the live. I want to see how this works.
So drop some flames in the chat, and we're going to do a live demonstration.
And just before you do that, Never Giving says, is your Amazon warehouse address provided upon creation of the account? And how are you able to keep track of inventory? So are you given a dashboard, for example, like if you had your Shopify account, once you have your account, you'd be able to see how your inventory is moving? How does that work, Keron?
Correct. You get a dashboard, and they provide you with the address to send your products and ship and your products too.
Okay, and that is given to you upon creation of your account?
Correct.
All right. Corey Week says a lot more layers needed for a successful Amazon selling strategy.
A lot more.
So we're saying it's more than just the registration. It's more than just being a resident in the country. It's more than just having that international credit card that can be charged. It comes with an entire strategy that you need to be considering before you just go and slap your products on a platform.
Because what people need to understand is we have access. But now with access, because we could have always sold, But selling requires a strategy. So we could sell on our website. We could sell on our own. We don't need Amazon. We could sell on our own. But there's still a strategy with learning how to sell via Google, learning how to use ads. There's still a strategy that comes with that. So while we have access, there is still a strategy to do that, right? So I'm going to share my screen.
Right. And I see all the questions. We're going to get to the question, but we're going to see if we can get the live view of the affiliate, Amazon affiliate.
Nice. So we got my screen up and running, right? So it's called Amazon Associates. So all you need to do is just Google Amazon Associates, and then you can go and sign up, and you could register. So where the opportunity now is once we sign in, all right? And actually, let me do it like this. If I go to Amazon, if you look at the top, right, I have my Amazon Associates site strip. So let's just say, Terry, you asked me.
I'm not seeing your screen. You share the screen?
You're not seeing my screen right now?
No. I don't. Right, are you guys seeing his screen? I know I'm not seeing his screen. And by the way, Learn, Invest, Grow. Yes, you are absolutely right. You have to be able to sell a certain amount, or you have to be able to refer a certain amount of products, or you lose the status of Amazon affiliate. Then you have to reapply all over again. So it is something that requires. Okay, people say they're seeing your screen.
All right, perfect. All right, so let's just say if Terry, you asked me what camera am I using to do my live streams, right? I would tell you I'm using the Sony a6100. So I can go and grab the listing for the product. Any product on Amazon is available to be sold by an affiliate link. So I jump into the product. Right at the top here where it says Amazon Associate Site Strip, I can get a text link, an image link, or a text and image link. So what I would do is I would take the text link and I would copy this link and I would send this to you, right?
That is why Keron's screen always looks so clean, because he's been using top-notch equipment.
Correct. So now when I send you this link and you click on it, you can now purchase it and I would make a commission off of the product. Now, every single category has a different referral fee. So any single thing that somebody asks you, hey, you're reading a book. What book are you reading? You're going to send them your affiliate link. And that way, when somebody purchases it, you can make a commission off of it. Now, here's the other beautiful thing about Amazon affiliates. If you send somebody a link to purchase something, right? Mm-hmm. And that person enters into Amazon through your link, but they don't purchase the product that you recommended. However, they don't purchase it, but that person has other products in their cart. If they cash out, but they came in from Amazon using your link, then you would receive a percentage, a commission from what was in their cart.
How many persons who are watching are affiliates? How many people watching? How many of you are actually affiliates? And you can be honest and say, hey, this is the first time we're hearing about this, because this is a no judgment zone, right? This is a safe space, which is why we're exchanging information. So a lot of persons will be like, hey, I'm not an affiliate. I've never done it. I'm not an associate. How many persons in the chat are actually affiliates? I think some people are like, damn, I didn't know about this, because I might have made $100 in 2020. Yes. I might have made $200 in 2020.
So
Umar said, I am great.
This is where the opportunity gap is for people who, again, they're content creators, right? So I'm going to show people this blog that I did. I did this blog back in September 2020, right? And this was my top 5 books to start my entrepreneurship journey. So I reviewed those books and I included all of my Amazon affiliate links in the blog. So when people want to purchase those books that I recommended, once they click on it, I would make a commission off of each sale of those books. So when you are a content creator, this is another great way to earn passive income, right? Now, because of the pandemic, Amazon has reduced some of the commission fees, But there are people that are making a ton of money off of Amazon affiliates because they've built an audience and they're talking to their audience. The audience trusts them.
Trust them, correct.
Correct. And you have your audience and they're going to buy these products. And again, look at it like this. Don't look at Amazon affiliates as a way to get rich. Look at it as another piece, as another revenue generating stream for your business.
That's just dropping coin. That's just dropping coin.
Correct.
But let me ask you a question, because I see Nicole Thomas. Nicole, I love you. I'm not picking on you. But Nicole said, I signed up, but got no purchases in 180 days. No, Nicole. Did you market it well? Did you I want to hear from Nicole. I want to hear from Nicole, because again, even if you become an Amazon affiliate, you can't just create the account, the account and the people will come. It doesn't work that way. You have to figure out how to speak to your audience, how to make it organic, how to sell them without overselling them, not chucking everything because you want to sell everything, but making sure that you recommend products that are actually relevant to your audience. Correct. All of those things will either make or break you.
Correct.
Okay.
So if you guys,
I'm waiting for Nicole to tell me about it.
If you guys look, I did the 5 books I did 5 books that helped me with my entrepreneurship journey, and it was in line with my brand. It was in line with content that I created, right? So you want to make sure that the things that you guys are recommending are in line with what you're doing. But Terry, we have a special guest. The special guest is in the green room, Terry.
Who is that?
Terry, can you listen? This your show. This.
Well, I know it has to be affiliated to what we're discussing.
All right. So Terry, can you introduce this man?
Man, but I don't know which one. I think you should, because I'm not seeing it yet. I think you should.
All right. So we have a special guest tonight, because you know what? The conversation of Amazon in the Caribbean cannot be had without this man who has a platform specifically for Caribbean entrepreneurs to sell their products on and get their products into the international markets, like the US and also Canada. There are a lot of gaps between what Amazon, so there's a big opportunity for Amazon, but there's also a lot of gaps that Amazon comes with due to the costs associated with being on the platform. Prohibitive. Okay. Correct. But fear not, folks, because there is a platform that works with Caribbean entrepreneurs and a lot of the gaps, and they worked very diligently. And they kind of looked at, what is Amazon, not doing for us in the Caribbean, and let's double down on that. So without further ado, let's bring to the stage a fellow by the name
Jojo said it's Carib Shopper.
Listen, Carib Shopper is in the building. Keron, Preston, Wagwan, sir. Hold on, and Keron just freeze on the smile?
I don't even see him. I don't know. I think everybody's saying big up KP.
Keron.
I don't see him.
Terry, are you seeing Keron? Hold on.
No, I'm just seeing you, but if the audience is seeing him, then fine. I'm great.
All right. I don't know what
Thank you, Nicole. No, absolutely.
Terry, how are you?
No, absolutely.
Terry, how are you watching the show? Through the link?
What do you mean, how am I watching it? Huh? I'm watching it from eCam, so I'm in the background. I'm in the studio, and it's looking good.
All right, no problem. Hold on. Keron just...
Okay, somebody said he's moving now. Can't wait to get
you know what?
Somebody says he's using Flow. You guys are terrible.
Lord. Bruh. Hold on, Keron's coming back. Hold on, Keron's coming back. Hold on. Don't worry. Keron will come. Keron's having some technical difficulties.
After such a big introduction.
The man's out in Miami right now. And the man just gone.
Listen, before Keron comes back on though, let me ask you a question, though, Keron. Someone asked in the chat, they tried to register online and did not see, for example, Jamaica as a country. They didn't see Jamaica as a country. What does that mean? Is there like an Amazon help, Amazon support if you try to create an account and maybe you don't see the country or you don't get to put your bank account for the deposit? I know I need an additional screen for sure.
What I'm thinking probably happened, or what they're looking at, is with Amazon Associates, you have to pick which market you want to be an Amazon Associate for. So you won't see. So like for me, I have picked the US as the country I want to be an Amazon affiliate for the US Amazon store. And all right, Cadian's coming back. All right, yeah. And once I've gone through the process, I've selected the store, but then you're able to now, when you go through the process, you're going to select that you are not in the US, and then you're able to now put in your country and your home address so that they can mail you.
Okay, cool. All right, so let's see if we can get Cadian on.
Cadian is back, and let us bring Cadian in. Doug!
Yo,
Cadian!
Listen, right now the people saying he needs Digicel.
Hey, Keron, it's your expensive equipment that kicked me out, brother.
Yo, my apologies.
Listen, let's talk. No, welcome, Cadian. I haven't had the pleasure of meeting you, but welcome. Thank you so very much for jumping in, because naturally we're talking about Amazon. You know, all of a sudden the Caribbean, we have countries that have been added to this list. This is amazing. But what Keron is saying is, hold up, we actually do have a platform that speaks our language, that knows our people, knows our market, and is filling the gap. So I would love to hear from you.
Thank you for inviting me, Terry. I really appreciate it. And it's good to be on the same stage with Terry and Keron. What? Boss! Anyway, I would love to hear the comments. By the way, just to say it, guys, Amazon being in our ecosystem right now is amazing for the Caribbean right now. It's amazing. But let me not give my own questions. Terry, go ahead.
So what I understand is that there's some gaps. So we spoke about international shipping, we spoke about other costs, we spoke about subscription costs. And so we're saying, although there's opportunity, there's visibility, and naturally we want access to this reach, you know, we're understanding that it's not all roses and perfumes. And so I understand that we have Carib Shopper, that is a platform. And for many who may be watching right now may want to know, okay, well, can we register with Carib Shopper? What is it that you guys provide, or what you guys do that maybe Amazon can't give us as a Caribbean market? What say you?
So that's a good question, right? So Amazon is the king of e-commerce, the number one marketplace in the world, right? So Amazon can provide for the larger ecosystem what Carib Shopper can't, right? Carib Shopper focuses specifically on manufacturers in our region. We were deliberate, Terry, in that we work directly with manufacturers who are making amazing products from 6 categories in the Caribbean. And we knew that there was a significant gap in between being digital ready and e-commerce ready for our ecosystem. And so we focused on meeting them where they are. So for instance, Keron and you were talking about all the things that you need to be prepared for. For number one, you got to get your images done, your product description, your keywords. You have to get
your strategy, a full strategy
together. This is actually, when people think of this as a side business, it's a business in itself. And part of what we at Carib Shop are doing is we're meeting or manufacturers or merchants in the region where they are. So we're helping them with product imagery, product description. We're doing their keyword marketing. We've created a marketplace, and we're probably the biggest marketplace in the Caribbean today with over 4,000 SKUs in 2 countries, right? Representing close to 400 merchants between Jamaica and Trinidad. That's becoming the central point for Caribbean made goods. So we have a niche. We're focused on that. We're not everything to everyone that Amazon is, and we can't be. That was never our goal. Our goal was to help in the digital transformation of the region and help merchants to become digital ready and also provide a platform for them to scale internationally. So we don't do local e-commerce. We focus primarily on exports, US and Canada. And we look at ways in which our team can support the growth of the Caribbean region through what we are doing, through the pipeline that we're providing.
Okay, that sounds amazing. No, you mentioned that there were six niches. That there are six niches that you cater to, and that's fine. I actually appreciate brands that don't try to be everything to everyone, but they niche down, and that there's nothing wrong with that. For persons who might be watching, they might be asking, okay, so what are the six niches that you tend to cater to within the manufacturing scheme?
So number one, we definitely focus on the food category, skincare, hair care, household items, craft, books, and jewelry. I think that's five. Number six would be probably
Food, skin, household, craft, books, jewelry.
Well, most of the direct to consumer category. So we focus direct to consumer. Yeah, so it's food, skincare, hair care, craft, household items,
And household.
and yeah, books. Right. So we're focused on those categories out of the region, and we believe that that helps the small and medium manufacturers. And one of the things we noticed, Terry, is that since probably about 2000, early 2000, we saw a real pickup in small manufacturers really transforming and growing their business in the region, and scaling is quite important. So we're here to be a support arm to them and help them scale internationally. And so that's the big play.
That's fantastic. So I know that we had some persons asking about an alternative to Amazon. You know, we're talking about the market. And so hearing about Carib Shopper, I've always heard about Carib Shopper, but certainly never had this level of understanding that if there are persons in the chat who are manufacturers who find themselves within the categories you just referred to, they can actually go and create an account and go through whatever steps they need to go through with Carib Shopper, correct?
Correct. So again, like I said in the beginning, we meet the merchants where they are, right? So we have a merchant success team
Where they
that
are.
all the things that you and Keron spoke about as the things that merchants and manufacturers and resellers need to be prepared for. Once a merchant fills out our application, when you go to www.caribshopper.com, our merchant success team reaches out to you, sees where you are in your maturity, and starts to work through the process in getting you ready to be listed on our platform and to start selling internationally. And that's the big thing. So Amazon, as a giant, doesn't do that, but they create immense opportunities for our region in allowing resellers. We don't allow resellers. We deal directly with manufacturers and merchants themselves. The affiliate programs, and there's so many other ways to make money on Amazon that the digital economy is looking all the way up.
No, thank you. No, thank you so very much. I think it's important. I think it's important to have a balanced conversation. I think it's important to arm our people, our market, our Caribbean with as much information as possible so they don't feel as if they have just one option, but for them to look at the options that they have, take the information that has been given to them, and then choose the one that best suits their brand and that gives them a fighting chance. So I really do appreciate the nuggets and the gems, and certainly for introducing your brand to persons who may not have even known about Carib Shopper or just how immense Carib Shopper could be to their brand. Thank you.
Thanks, Terry. I got one more thing to say before I run. We also handle the merchants' shipping, their logistics costs. We pay directly in US to all our merchants. Once you have a US bank account in the Caribbean, so there's some real direct advantages in working with Carib Shopper, and I implore manufacturers.
Hold on, I'm sorry. The logistics and all the things that we were talking about as a nightmare at the beginning of the conversation, you're saying that Carib Shopper does help you that?
Yes, so we deal with all of that. That's part of us. That's part of Carib Shopper partnering with the manufacturer or merchant in the region. That's part of our commitment in growing Caribbean exports in a B2C market in e-commerce, right? So again, understanding our marketplace, we are Caribbean, we're Jamaican, we're Trini. we are looking at, what it's going to take for you to be successful, and we're focused on that. So when merchants sign up, they're not paying logistics costs. We're covering that. They're not paying for marketing their business, but they need to, just like Keron said, and Terry, they have a job to do. They have to tell customers, my product is located here. If you live in Canada, if you live in the UK, US, buy your product, buy my product here. Yep. And so I'm looking forward to having a longer discussion. This is not my discussion. This is about Amazon. So I'll leave it there.
No, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Can't hear you, Keron.
Hold on, Terry. We have something to do with Caden before we even just let him go. Folks, if you want to call in live and ask a question to Terri-Karelle, Katie Preston, and your boy, please, you can call us. Now, this is a Trinidad number, so get a pen and paper. The phone lines are open right now. The phone number is 868-737-4358. You can call us on WhatsApp right now if you want to ask a question about Carib Shopper, or if you need to ask a question about Amazon. The phone lines are open. You can call in from WhatsApp, or you can call in directly to my phone number. The phone number we're online right now. All right, I put it in the chat, 868-737-4358. Let us get some live questions right now,
you're
please.
You're soft, Keron. You are soft.
Listen, why not?
No, Terry, this is the next level, right? You're the Oprah of Jamaica, and Keron is the Joe Rogan of Trinidad. This is just a different level. Call in.
There you have it. No, there you have it, guys. But if you really would like to call in, I mean, it's interesting that years ago, a person said radio was dead. Years ago, they said that TV was dead. But all we've seen really is just a repackaging of radio in podcasting, radio in terms of having interactive questions coming via phone calls. And we've seen where YouTube and TikTok and everything else really is just taking TV visuals and making it entertainment. So I think that's what's really, really cool. Any questions?
Yeah, somebody call in.
I realize that Umar Mohammed said in registering for 7. Somebody's calling in. Okay, go ahead, sir.
All right, call in 868-737-4358. You can call in on WhatsApp, or you can call direct. We will take the call live, folks. The phone call will be live. You will be all right. That's so we got our first call coming in. Our first call. Hello, caller. Good night. Hello, caller. Good night.
Hi, good night. Good night. Can you hear me?
Good night. We can hear you.
Good night. Good night.
Good night, Mr. Preston. Good night, Dr. Terri-Karelle. Good night, Mr. Rose.
I know that voice.
Why do I know that voice?
Welcome. Welcome. What's your question?
I'm not hearing you. I'm not hearing you, though. I'm not hearing you.
Hold on. Can you hear us now?
What's your question?
Yeah, and you know, Keron.
Or comment?
I think he's on mute.
I'm only hearing Keron.
All right, can you hear us?
Yeah, Keron.
What's your question? What's your question?
Well, I don't have a question per se. I just want to big up Carib Shopper. I mean, I'm a customer. The service was excellent. I got this gift card and everything. Chamoy was a great help, and we had Cadian on the Caribbean Power Lunch podcast. That episode is coming up very soon, and I want to big up Dr. Terri-Karelle Reid on her excellent work.
Thank you.
Right?
Thank you so very much. I appreciate it.
Is that Kevin?
No, thank you. But that's a huge testimonial, though, because it takes it. I mean, we refer to people, to products. We look at reviews before we buy things, and so to hear someone from Trinidad call and say, "Hey, I'm a customer. This is what my customer service experience was like with Carib Shopper and how we got this discount," is pretty cool. So that's pretty cool. All right.
We have another call coming in. Kevin, thank you for tonight. We have a... Hello, good night.
Hello, good night.
All right, you're going to have to turn down where you're
Hi, good
watching
night.
from.
Hello, good night. I'm calling from Jamaica.
Hi, good night. We would say turn down your
All
radio,
right.
but move away from your device.
All right, good. Because we
Great.
had more
We can
calls
hear
coming
you.
in. All right, good. You can hear you now.
Thank you so much for the information you're providing. I wanted to ask a quick question. I'm calling from... Right. So, are you hearing me now?
Yeah, we're hearing you loud and
Yes,
clear.
we can hear you.
Okay. So I want to find out if I'm selling like shirts. So I will do the image. Then I will have like, I don't remember. Will print on demand. How can that work with my Amazon account?
Okay, so I think she's asking if she decides to do like a print on demand, like Teespring, can she ship logistically to her Amazon account, or does she now have to figure out separate shipping from her Teespring or wherever she's doing her shipping on demand to get the shirts to
Teespring or
Amazon?
something.
So Teespring
Wouldn't Teespring
actually...
already send to the customers?
Teespring and Printful actually do their own logistics. So once you create your store on Teespring or Printful, they deliver the products directly to your consumers anywhere in the world.
Right. So could I link it?
So
What
you
I'm
would need
asking, thank you
Amazon.
so much. What I'm asking is because Amazon is a bigger platform, could I link both of them? Could I list my product on Amazon and get
Could you
it
integrate the two?
sold
Not
and
to
distributed?
my knowledge, not off the top of my head, can you connect Teespring to your... I think there might be a manual process where you could just have the listing on Amazon. Kaden, what are you going to say?
No, it's a manual process, right? So she builds her. It sounds like she has a Shopify store. She builds her Shopify store. She has her inventory, and then she also lists that inventory on Amazon, but she'd be self-fulfilled instead of FBA, right? So she wouldn't be a part of Prime. So she would have to manage both channels for sales of her inventory. And it's a good question. It's a good question that she asks, Keron, because consumers in the Caribbean feel like if they list on Amazon, they can't list on other platforms. I wholeheartedly support listing on as much platforms as you can manage, right? Because
That's the key word. That's the key word.
Manage.
Yep, as you can manage. Manage is the key word there.
Okay.
Okay, so list it on Amazon. So list it on Amazon, and then I'll have to find a way to get it to the clients, to the customers, via Teespring or Shopify.
No, well, if you're using a print on demand, I don't know if she can hear me, but if you're using a print on demand, logistically, they will already help to get your products out to the various customers wherever they are shopping from. But what Kaden and everyone is saying is that you can list anywhere you want your products to be. You just have to be able, or you have to ensure quality assurance. You have to ensure that you can manage all of these different platforms to make sure that your inventory not running out, making sure you're up to stock, making sure that you have everything that you need to have. So you can list across different platforms, but you must be able to manage them.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you for calling in.
We wish you all the best.
With that question, Keron,
Yeah.
I believe that you need to run an Amazon University, an e-commerce university, to train or up and coming entrepreneurs who are going in digital life.
I feel so too. Caller, good night.
Hi, good night. This is I just want to talk to Preston concerning Carib Shopper. Hi, good night. You hearing me?
Yes, sir. How are you doing?
Fine. Go right ahead.
Hello?
All right, go right ahead. Go right ahead.
Yeah. I'm a merchant on Carib Shopper. My brand is Grace Farms Cocoa Products. We do teas and mocha teas.
Yeah.
And we just want to say thanks for the platform that he had provided for a local Trini merchant to be able to have the products international. So thanks for the platform. That's what I want to say.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. Thank
Thank
you
you,
so
sir.
very much.
I never met you, but I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Perfect.
All right, that's pretty
Kaden,
cool.
do you have time for one more call? If we can get one more caller to call in.
Yeah, man, go ahead. That one was nervous now. I was wondering if it was
You never know. When the man say I'm a merchant, when the man say I'm a merchant, I say, oh, boo.
Yeah. I was like, oh boy, here we go now.
All right, we have one more call coming in. Hello, good night.
All right.
Hi, good night, guys. Emil here,
Good night.
calling from Trinidad. Right. So,
Welcome.
hello.
Hi, good night. Thank you.
All right. Yes, Emil here, calling from Trinidad.
Yeah.
Okay, so just a comment. As all of these platforms come into being, I think one of the things we have to get really good at in the Caribbean is customer traction, is audience building, because that is going to become the new gold. And I think that's one of the skills that we're going to have to get better at as things go along, because the relationship with the customer is going to become the key thing now as the platform serve to deliver products and services. So that's my comment.
Absolutely. Yeah. I absolutely agree with that. Thank you so very much. I think it's something that Keron also always speaks about in terms of owning your own platform, but also owning your own audience. A lot of the times when we use social media and all of these other platforms, we have the audience coming to us, but we don't necessarily have a direct relationship. We don't have emails. We don't have numbers. We don't have the stats because we just don't own the information. The platform owns the information. So when you are able to create your own website by right, or when you're able to basically build your audience and they feed into your website, and it's this wonderful loop, that's basically what the caller just encouraged us to get to that level where you create your own platform. Well, all right.
Thank you very much.
We only planned on doing this for like an hour. Yeah. I didn't even know how this evolved since the night just kept on going on. But thank you. Listen. Thank you very much. Keron, Carib Shopper, keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Last words?
Listen, I implore everybody to really take a look at both platforms, because there's a reason why Amazon is here, and the Amazon platform is going to be helpful to a lot of people, but there are going to be people that it will not make financial sense to be on that platform. You need to really look at what Carib Shopper is doing, because they are doing a lot of the things that Amazon is not doing for you. You see, the big thing about when you go on Amazon, you have to write your own descriptions. And if you don't nail that, that's a problem. Carib Shopper is doing that for you. You're responsible for your own photography on Amazon. And some of y'all are still using Samsung S2s and don't have a camera to be able to take the photography. Carib Shopper is solving that problem for you. And then the fees, there are no fees to list on the platform and get your product shipped to the US or to Canada when you guys open up Canada. That is huge. And then there's nothing stopping you from listing on both the platforms if you are on Amazon. So, Kadian, I think that what you are offering is so
the contribution was
needed.
Massive.
It's
the
massive.
Contribution was massive.
It's massive. It's needed. I just want to thank you for coming on board tonight and taking the time to talk to us. It was a pleasure.
Thank you very much, man.
Thank you.
A flex bomb for that. Thank you, Dr. Terri-Karelle.
No problem. Take care. All the best to you and the Carib Shopper team. Well, thank you for that, Keron, because I didn't know much about Carib Shopper. I knew they existed in the space, but I didn't know the nitty-gritty. I didn't know all of the things that they were doing. But certainly a message or a comment that Umar Mohammed said earlier was that in registering for a seller's account on Amazon, part of the form is identifying a bank account to have an Amazon deposit funds into. However, being from Trinidad, our country is not listed under the selection. So this begs the question, how can sellers in our market utilize the platform when registering, when asked to identify their bank to deposit into? So again, it's early days. We're having an early discussion. We don't know how they'll be tweaking and fixing as problems arise, but we just thought that this was an important conversation
because
to have.
that announcement only happened like I don't even think 2 weeks ago. So Umar, don't worry, it's coming. They've announced it. We are on the list. When it's gonna go live for us, it should be very soon. But we are on the list. You are going to be able to list, you are going to be able to select Trinidad and add in your own bank details. And I mean, as of right now with Amazon Associates, I collect checks from Amazon Associates. So it's not like they're not accustomed to paying us. They pay us out here, right? So don't worry, the direct deposit is coming. And even if they don't give us direct deposit, Amazon is already cutting checks and mailing it to Caribbean users. So,
all right,
Terry, we've hit
Yes,
the
sir.
hour and 20-minute mark. What are we doing from here? Are we taking any last questions or are we good, Terry?
I think we're good. Everyone kind of said good night. Somebody says, Never Giving says, this is the first time I'm hearing about Carib Shopper. Is it a newly created platform? And if so, how is advertising being handled to bring a greater number of prospective buyers to the platform? So basically persons who just came into contact with Carib Shopper say, come on, man, we need to hear from you guys a lot more. Umar says, looking forward to it. I've actually used Payoneer. So when we are at that stage, I'll join the conversation. So again, guys, this was just a WhatsApp. In all honesty, I saw the news. It broke across the platforms. And I said, well, what does that mean? I value my community. I know a lot of my community members they're not hustlers. These are solopreneurs. These are people who have been resilient, especially through the pandemic, who have tried to tie them hand make fashion, as we would say in Jamaica, to sell their products. So I thought it was a great news, great development. But I just want us to also be armed with information so that we know what we need to consider, how to manage our expectations, and where we go from here. So I hope there were some things that you might have learned. Even if you didn't learn from Keron and I, you learned from other persons in the chat who have experienced it as merchants. We hope there might have been something new that you can apply to your business. And we hope that whatever decision you make, you will continue to do your own research. Do not rely on persons to give you and spoon feed you all the information. Go out, do your Google, do your research, see what other people are saying, jump into conversations, get into other communities where these conversations are happening so that you can learn more and use the information to your best ability. Keron.
Yes, I would close with saying the time is
you?
The time is now for the Caribbean. Years ago, long time ago, when I was born, I was here for a couple of weeks and we migrated to Canada. People that were migrating to the first world countries in the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, early 2000s, completely understood. I understand why they made the move. But now in this day and age, I'm a bit twofold. On one hand, I feel like the Caribbean is where it's at because of a lack of perspective. And I would love for Caribbean people to live in first world countries, to see how hard it is out there, to see how things work over there, but then to come back and really appreciate the Caribbean. But then on the other hand, the opportunities are endless right now. And every challenge that we have in the region is a chance for an opportunity. And the basis of any business at its core level is to solve a problem. I implore everybody, find a problem that you are either really skilled at to solve or that you are really passionate about, and you go and tackle that. We have technology now and platforms that we've never had in the Caribbean. Now you can be in your house, you can learn a wide variety of skills, you can get paid from anywhere in the world. I have clients that have paid me from Japan. I have clients that have paid me from Australia. Terry gets paid in Africa. Terry gets paid from the Congo.
Listen, you just stick to your checks. You stick to your checks.
Listen, Terry getting paid from everywhere, okay? Listen, We can get paid from everywhere in the world right here in the Caribbean. The people who are telling you that we have challenges getting paid, we do not have the challenges of getting paid that we did a couple of years ago. We can get paid in our islands, all right? We can get paid. So now what I want you guys to do is, if you are unsure about what to do now, we're kind of, I don't know if we're in the middle of the pandemic. I don't know if we're rolling out of the pandemic. The rest of the world, it seems like pandemic is going away, but we're kind of still in it. What I want you guys to do right now, I want you guys to jump on Google, and I want you guys to Google high earning digital skills. High earning digital skills. And look to see all of the new skills that are being heavily sought after, that are paying good money. And jump on these academies like a HubSpot Academy, a SEMrush Academy, Google Digital Garage, Facebook Blueprint. A lot of these online schools are teaching you these skills and certifying you for free because they're charging you on how to use the tools. But at least if you get the knowledge, you can now apply your skill online, and you could jump on any one of the social media platforms to get clients, and you could start generating a side income. You could run some affiliate marketing on the side. You could get paid from YouTube, because we get paid. Terry, why don't you tell them the news about YouTube? We can get paid from YouTube.
I think at the end of the day, I think what we need to remember as Caribbean people is that we have been creators all of our lives. Yeah. Sometimes we don't end up getting the money, but the reason why the world loves us is because we are creators to our heart. Music, dance, craft, food, art, anything you name it, we create it. So now it's about putting in the systems, using the tools, using the knowledge. And something that we were not taught how to do years ago is collaboration. So I might be strong in something and Keron may be weak. Keron might be weak in something and I might be strong. There's no reason why we cannot actually collaborate more as entrepreneurs, where we actually can get a bigger piece of the pie. So it's about a different way of thinking, right? That's what I absolutely think. So Sherwin says, I love how Keron finds a solution. Everyone says, amazing show, guys. So thank you.
Terry,
yes.
Before
we need to leave, we need to leave.
Yes, before we close, just to emphasize the point of the collaboration, tell them how this even happened.
So as I was saying earlier, very quickly, guys, I literally WhatsApp Keron and said, hey, saw the news about Amazon. What does this mean for us in the Caribbean? No, I do not have a product. I am not selling anything. But I thought about the persons within my community who could benefit from the conversation. So I said, will you be available for an IG live? He said, no problem. I said, Monday. He said, no problem. Later on, he WhatsApped. I messaged LinkedIn and said, hey, LinkedIn, I don't have LinkedIn live. So if y'all want to be a part of the conversation, you're going to have to come across to my Instagram live. Keron WhatsApps me and says, but T, I have software that I can easily take your content and broadcast it to your other platforms. And even if you don't have LinkedIn Live, I have LinkedIn Live. So I'll patch in my LinkedIn Live and my Facebook. All it started out with just hey, I read this thing and I want to do something for my community. Are you in? And now we sat here having a conversation across LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, IG. All because we decided to collaborate. So I think this is something that we need to do more often, and we're just showing you that it can be done. Right. It can be done.
Thank you. Terry, once again, thank you.
And this was put together in no time.
Yeah, literally. That being said, Terry, thank you for having me. Thank you for initiating the conversation. All right, so let us roll out.
No, I appreciate it. And for all of you guys, all the best. Take care. Are we getting music to dance to? Bye LinkedIn, bye Facebook, bye YouTube, bye IG. Take care. What are we doing? Oh, we got to do.
Drop some fire if you guys enjoyed tonight's show. Drop some fire if you guys enjoyed tonight's show.
Catherine!
Wow.
We need to do this more often, clearly.